friend. I have been in this eBay game for about 6 weeks, and I thought I would kind of chat about some of the things that I have learned in my first 6 weeks of attempting to sell on eBay. So here goes. The first one is, this is hard. It's hard. It takes time. It takes work. There's so much processing. There's a lot of amazing YouTubers, In fact, I'll link one below to just, you can see they give you really good information on what to sell and not to sell, how to sell it. But they don't show you a lot of like the processing. So there's, inputting things into spreadsheets and taking all the pictures. Oh my goodness. And then, all the time that it takes to list and draft, and then shipping is not just flashing a picture of like what it sold and how much it sold for. Like, you actually have to get these things to the post office and get them packaged up. So it just takes a lot of time and it's a lot of hard work. I have really enjoyed it, but it's hard. It's hard. So I have learned a lot of terminology. Let me give you some things that I have learned. ACOG, or average cost of goods. So if I go to a sale and I spend $15 and I buy 5 things, then my average cost of goods is $3. Math. All right, death pile, that's when people have bought a lot of stuff and haven't processed it, haven't taken pictures, haven't listed it, and it's just kind of sitting in a room or a pile or whatever. Comps. So comps are comparisons when you go into when you go into eBay and see, what did this sell for? What are others listed for? That's comps. And then the sell-through rate. Sell-through rate is super important. It's seeing how many things are listed and how many things have sold in the last 90 days. So say I'm selling my glasses and I go and I look and there are, 87 listings for glasses, but there's only 1 sold. That's not a very good sell-through rate. But if there's 10 listed and 20 sold, then I'm gonna list my glasses because they're gonna sell. Okay, hard goods. Hard goods means like things that aren't clothes. So pottery, electronics, games, books, basically anything that's not clothes. One thing I haven't figured out is, I don't know if shoes are hard goods or not. Let me know. Tell me. That's going to be the question of the week. Are shoes hard goods? That's a terrible question of the week. Okay, maybe let's switch it. Do you like to sell hard goods or clothing? And is clothing soft goods? Because I've never heard that called soft goods. I don't know about linens either. I would think linens would not be hard goods. See, I don't know all the things. Okay, resell Nirvana. I've actually heard 2 different YouTubers use this, and basically it's when you're selling as much as you're listing, I think. Basically, like, everything's just kind of cycling in. It's like the perfect world of reselling. You sell it, you list it, it's sold. Or you buy it, you list it, and it's sold. Okay. Source is when you go and find something that you then sell. So going to yard sales, thrift stores, estate sales, purchasing and liquidation, or if someone just gives you something, that's sourcing. And return on investment is how much I bought it for versus how much I sell it for. So if I have $1 into something and I sell it for $10, that's a really good return on investment. Okay, and BOLO. This one I actually had to Google. What does BOLO mean? BOLO is be on the lookout. So items and brands that are really good sellers that you want to be on the lookout for. You probably know all these things, but anyway. Okay, so another thing I've learned. I have notes. I keep looking down. this one was tricky to me, but you lose money at first. So my first like 4 sales, I had to actually pay shipping before I got the money from my sale. So this, for me, it wasn't an issue because we have wiggle room in our budget that I can do that. But a lot of like you see a lot of like, how can a stay-at-home mom make more money? And it's like, sell stuff on eBay. Well, if you're really strapped for money and you're trying to sell stuff on eBay and then you have to pay shipping when you haven't gotten the money for what you sold, that's tricky. And yeah, it also doesn't turn over real quick. So it's kind of the same situation. Like if you're selling something because you need $50 fast, eBay is not really the way to do it. It's not really the way to do it. So eBay did deposit the money into my account, but it was like a week later. And so now I have it set up. I think it goes into my account every Tuesday, and I think you can set it up daily, but I just thought a week was fine. So another thing I learned, that there are business models. There's business models. People take eBay real seriously. So there's things like long tail, which I guess could be another one of the terminology that I've learned. Long tail is something that's probably going to net you a bunch of money, but it's going to take a really long time to sell. So there's people who model their whole entire eBay business after that. There's people who model them after really quick flips. So they might not get as much money back, but they turn their things over really fast. I haven't looked into all what different kind of business models there are, but there's a lot, and pretty much every reseller does it a little differently, which is cool because we're all different and we should do it differently anyway, right? Another thing I've learned is to be creative with what you have. So packing materials, things to take photos with. You know, I don't have money to go buy a big light. I don't have the money to buy backgrounds and screens, but I can use a wall. I can use my bed and a white sheet. I can use the light that I use when I record videos, and you know, using things that you already have. Or I did buy like a 50-cent poster board so that I could take pictures of smaller things on a nicer, crisper background. But that cost 50 cents, and really probably if I rummaged around my house, I could find something similar to use. Packing materials, I don't know about you, but I get Amazon packages like a lot. It's too much. So reusing those, I just sent out some breakable items, and I just got a bunch of bubble wrap from things that I had already bought that had come to my house. So I didn't have to go buy bubble wrap for that. Okay. This one's kind of hard, but good brands do not equal good resale value. They just don't. And sometimes that's frustrating because I think, oh my goodness, this item, I spent so much money on retail and it should resell for a high value, but either the market is saturated or it's too old, or I'm sure there's a lot that goes into it, but a good brand does not necessarily mean a good resale value. All right. Systems are important. Systems are important. And that, I think, is for someone who's trying to sell a lot. I'm really just trying to do this part-time, and my goal is to make $1,000 a month so I can just contribute to my family's financial stuff, right? So processing systems, shipping systems, just making sure that nothing kind of gets lost in the shuffle. I don't even have that many items, inventory, but I have to have a system for it, or it's just going to get lost and I'm never going to find what it is that I sold, right? Or I'm going to spend a lot of time looking for it. So I have a system for processing. I have a system for storing, and then a system for shipping. And I should say I'm working on it. We're working there. We're getting there. Okay. And then the last thing that I've learned is that I have so much more to learn, so much more. every day when I'm watching videos, when I'm out thrifting, when I'm selling, when I'm doing stuff, I just realize like how much I don't know. And sometimes it's overwhelming, but I'm excited to learn. There's so many YouTubers that give you really good information, and I'm not one of them, but I'm just here for the journey. And so if you want to keep learning with me, I would love it if you would subscribe, and you can take a look right about here at some of the things that I have learned along the way. So please give this video a like and subscribe, and I will see you soon.